Welcome back. It's 12:39 and we're into our final interview for the morning. We're going to be talking books, and Mordecai Loni, better known as Mordecai, is a book publisher and project manager facilitating projects in the book space. His true passion is creating a culture of reading townships, and he is a co-project manager at Soweto Books and Us Book Club. Gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the show today, Mordecai. Good afternoon and
Thanks,
welcome.
thanks a lot. Afternoon to you. Thanks for inviting me.
Okay, so tell us, what is Soweto Books and Us all about, and what inspired this special focus on Credo Mutwa's Indaba, My Children?
Oh yes. Thanks for the opportunity. Again, I'm Mordecai. I'm from Soweto. I am part of the planning and organizing of the Soweto Books and Us Book Club. But Soweto Books and Us is actually a movement of photographers, a movement of publishers, a movement of content creators, and authors. But we do have a Soweto Books and Us Book Club that we host once every month, and we actually wanted to have one for Credo Mutwa this month, especially for his book Indaba, My Children, which it tells about African folklore stories. It tells about his experience with God and what he believes God is or was. So yes, he's actually sharing a spiritual journey for the simple guy in the street, so that he can read that book and knows what he's talking about. But it is a complex book, but it's easy to digest. Yes.
Okay, so you're saying Indaba, My
You
Children
sang
is a
Indaba, My
deeply
Children is a deeply
layered,
layered.
layered. Oh, sorry, I'm hearing a lot of feedback here. Let me start that again. So the book Indaba, My Children is a deeply layered book. Why did you choose this book? Why did the club choose this particular text for discussion? What do you believe uh, you you and the members would benefit from this particular book?
Particular book. Okay. Thanks for that question. I to answer it to answer that question thoroughly, I had an opportunity to be part of a Credo Mutwa writing workshop that was once held. I think the year was the year 2018, in White City Jabavu in Wakalendaba. Right, so that writing workshop, I was fortunately to be part of that, to know about who Credo Mutwa was. So ever since I've gotten into that, I've met people who actually are open to what Credo Mutwa had said before, and also the life that he lived in Soweto, especially. So, because of that and the relationships that we've had, me and Cindy Siwezulu, some of the people in the group actually wanted for us to have maybe a revisit to the book, and also a revisit to Credo Mutwa, especially since next month, which is July. I think it is Credo Mutwa's birthday. I think it might have been turning 100 years or 102 years, but we wanted to have it around this time to actually to remind
Honor.
ourselves of what Credo Mutwa was. Yeah.
I suppose to
I
honor his
suppose to
legacy.
honor.
Can you hear me? There seems to be a lot of interruption on this line.
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now. So, how does the book club ensure the discussion is inclusive, especially given that Indaba, My Children, can be spiritually and culturally complex?
Yeah. So one of the things that we did for our writing workshop, we made sure that we do not have a once-off event, because this book is quite extensive. It is easy to read, but you do actually need maybe someone to bounce the ideas off from, and the stuff that Credo Mutwa talks about. So what we did is that we broke it down to days. The workshop was actually spent in I think 3 to 6 months. But what we are going to do with this event is to make sure that we have previous people that actually have interacted with the content. We have people that actually teach stuff that Credo Mutwa talks about. So because it is a complex book and we have interacted with it prior, we are going to make sure we bring people who kind of explain it better for people who haven't interacted with Credo Mutwa or his content. So to make sure it's inclusive for the people who doesn't know who he is or who he was, for a lack of a
This is
better.
a very important event and a very important piece of work, simply because number one, it's the month of June, which is Youth Month. We just came out of Youth Day last Monday. So these are the type of stories, multi-layered as it may be, that needs to be passed down from generation to generation. And we know that Credo Mutwa was known for preserving oral traditions and, more importantly, challenging colonial narratives. How do you see this book as part of cultural resistance and healing?
That's thanks for that question again. Um, Personally, I I I want this book to be an experience for people who are not Zulu and people who are not from Southern Africa. I wanted for it to be an experience where we are not reading it for uh like in a terms of a prideful dance where it's us and Credo Mutwa is giving us this and we want to share it with our people, but we want to create a situation where it's inclusive. Whichever culture you're from, you can get a sense like a walk about, a walk through a park, so that you can see, you can feel the textures. You can talk about the people that actually lived um some years in Soweto when Credo Mutwa was there, to kind of have a sense of what he talks about in the book, especially and also as a black person. But it is not a we don't want to have it as a form of a celebratory chapter in our book club where we say this is Credo Mutwa, we want to celebrate him, but because we've done it before. For now, what we want to do is that is Credo Mutwa, we want to share him. That's what we want to do for now. So we won't be.
Okay, okay. I alluded to Youth Month, Youth Day. I want to talk about our children, our young people in the country, given the challenges we face in our country, plus the issues around social media. Social media has taken the world by storm. Taking all of that into context, do you think young people are going to engage with this book, engage with the book club? How do we get young people involved in this beautiful world of reading? Because AI and social media, I'm afraid, I hope I'm wrong, has really caught the attention of our youth. So, what is it that we need to do to reintroduce them to the beauty of books, to the world of imagination, to the theater of the mind, so to speak? Um, and I think that's very imperative in this day and age for our children to become readers and prolific readers. Also, given that we know that we've been told by the Department of Education that comprehension, um, our children in grade 4 are not at a level of comprehension. So that's really telling, isn't it, for us as a community in South Africa?
It is. It is. You are quite right. The first question about the youth: how do we get the youth to get into such content? Right. That's the first question. Especially reading for the fun of it, and one maybe later on. But for the youth, one thing that got me interested in Credo Mutwa which is something that I wish some other people, especially the youth, can experience. Is that people do not know that Credo Mutwa was actually a fan of science fiction.
Mm.
He wrote science fiction, and also he loved watching science fiction content, videos, movies, and series. Credo Mutwa actually loved Stargate. He loved Star Wars and Star Trek. He actually talked about Chitauru, the aliens that he likes talking about. He says it looks exactly like one of the aliens in Star Wars. So it means I think we have to try to appeal to the youth a little bit to be like the stuff that you are actually seeing in your world, you are watching on TV and also on TikTok is the same stuff that's on books. It's just that we have to like share content with them that alludes to what they are living in at that moment. Because when Krodomota talked about the sci-fi movies that he watched, as a youth, that sparked my imagination. I mean, like I was like, this is an old man. I'm not sure why, but he's consuming the same content as I was consuming at the time, which is Star Wars. So, but he actually does talk about there is a chance that we might have been visited by aliens. It's up for discussion, definitely, but there is evidence that alludes to that. So if the youth likes talking about such content, we do actually have books that they like to talk about, right? So if they talk about, let's talk about the Avengers for a lack of a better word. I've watched it, and the youth love talking about the Avengers. One thing about the Avengers, the main villain, the main bad guy in the first part of Avengers was Thanos. So Thanos brought an army, an alien army, and for which is weird is that Credo Mutwa, the same word or the same name that he uses to mention these aliens in his books that people talk about, they are the same. It's the same word that the Avengers mention when they want to talk about the aliens that the bad guy has brought to fight the good guys. So it means Credo said this word like 50, if not 60 years ago. But in today's age, some of his words or what he talked about, the even in Hollywood, some people in Hollywood actually do allude to what he talks about. They talk about Credo talks about the tree of life. In the Avengers movie, there's Groot, who's a being, who's a tree, who's actually living. And Credo talks about that type of tree in the book Indaba My Children. So we can actually package it in a form, in a sense where the youth actually, excited about it, and actually make sure that it's almost like what they are living. We can find
Okay.
books.
Let me ask you this question. Are you concerned about the lack of interest by our youth regarding books and literacy? Do you think that that is a problem, and how can we circumvent it? How do we get young people interested in books, in the world of books?
Yes, thanks. Thanks for that. I actually wanted to get to the next part, to the next question that you asked me. The youth are not reading, you're right. But my mentor, I'm not sure if you know David Robbins. He owns Porcupine Press with his wife, Gail Robbins.
Hmm.
So when he came to Soweto, he met me at Soweto Book Cafe, and he actually told me he's an elderly white man. He told me that we are actually missing the space of book clubs in Soweto, right? Which is something that immediately when he said that we were part of a book club, we created Soweto Book Club. We created it at Soweto Book Cafe, which is a library, community library, DIY, do it yourself community library, where we actually have we've had a curriculum. One curriculum make sure that it's a skeleton type of curriculum where kids actually come and tell us what they're studying, what's this their assignments and homeworks, and then we help with that, and then with their curriculum we then add um, activities for them to read books and share with kids at school and at church. So it means the kids that we help in terms of them getting their studies going on, we're making sure that we plug them into our curriculum of reading, like Indaba my children, and then they can extend it to their friends. But David Robbins and Sindisiwe Zulu actually are working on a DIY libraries drive where I think we've taken up like 8 schools in Soweto now that we donate books to. We, making sure that we create what we've created with Soweto Book Club, Soweto Books and Us, and Soweto Books Cafe. We actually injected into schools so that, because the government is actually missing that reading for recreational purposes. Because if kids don't want to see a book and think about it in terms of it being fun, they usually would want to, not think it's worth picking up that book. So we are
Okay. Okay, Mordecai, we're running out of time. I'm going to have to wrap up in the next minute or two. Let me ask you, how do events like this contribute to the broader mission of Soweto Books and Us? And how do you see the legacy of African literature evolving through these spaces?
I mean, that's with us, people who are writing. We have to create such events so that people can continue to come to us. Because if Soweto doesn't know if there's book clubs, they won't come to book clubs. They won't pick up a book. So we create the books clubs so that they don't have an excuse now. They can't say there aren't any books and there aren't any book clubs. So we're creating this culture. We're making sure that we're cultivating it, and we're starting it from afresh. Telling your next door neighbor, come to our event, something like that. Yeah, it was already going somewhere, but we want it to be natural and organic so that we don't have to push people to come to our book events, book clubs, libraries and stuff.
Okay, target audience, age groups. What age groups is your book club open to? And I know it would depend on the book that you're discussing at the time, but you're also encouraging, hopefully, the love of reading through the ages, through all in Soweto itself, and I should imagine for all age groups.
Thanks for that question. We had an author at Soweto Books and Us book club, Miss Martha Mkize, that came to our book club a few months back. The youngest, and her topic is quite serious. She was talking about divorce and a lot. But our youngest our patron, or someone that came to the event, was 13 years old. So, but our demographic in terms of Soweto Books and Us, we take people from 8 years old, because we have programs for that, up to the age of 74, if not 80 years, because my mentor
Wow.
is 76 years. Yes, David David Robbins is 76 years. So yeah, we take people from 8 years old because we have a program for them, and then and also for mature audiences. That's why we had Miss Matam Kiza, who talked about divorce the last month, which is something we can break down to everyone that's there, because we shouldn't make it exclusive to adults, because we are doing it for books. I mean, you others who can read already. If we concentrate on you more, we need the youth to be able to read and write.
Okay. It's been wonderful talking to you. I wish I had more time to pick your brain, but wonderful initiative. I think you guys are on the right track. You're getting Soweto to become literate and to love books. Keep it up. Very quickly, please, I need a short answer from you. People who are watching and listening to us this morning and they have books right across all the genres, if they have books to give away, would you welcome accepting those books as donations?
Yes, ma'am. Thanks for that. We accept donations and we also give donations. So if someone's listening or watching and they need books, they can come to us. Please search for Sindisiwe Zulu on Facebook. Sindisiwe Zulu, that's our other person that accepts books and also sends books to people that need donations. And then search for Mordecai Loni on Facebook and Instagram. We can actually help you get books. And
Okay.
if you have anything that you want to help, for us to help you with anything in terms of publishing, events, anything that you need regarding books, you can come to either Sindisiwe Zulu or Mordecai Loni. We can actually help you with that.
Lovely talking to you. Thank you indeed for your time. We're going to wrap up by playing out our ad break now, which we missed a little earlier on. But thank you, good luck, and may you grow from strength to strength. God bless and goodbye.
Thanks a lot. Anytime that you want to have one of us, we can actually come to your studios, or any topic that you want to discuss. We're here. Thanks.
Absolutely. It is exactly 12:59. Time for me to wrap up. Thank you indeed for your company. Hope you've enjoyed all the interviews this morning. Don't forget, you can join me once again next Monday morning at 8 a.m. on News and Views. Till then, take care, especially on the roads, and keep warm. Assalamu alaikum from me, Julie Ali.